Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the OTT.X Wednesday webinar series, where we bring you thought-provoking insights on timely industry issues and opportunities presented by leading industry executives. My name is Jose Rodriguez, and we are delighted to have you join today. AI and its capabilities are becoming more and more prominent in our day-to-day lives and in the streaming industry, providing new and exciting opportunities to reach and interact with consumers at home and abroad. Today, we are here to discover how AI dubbing can enhance the accessibility and reach of your content, making it easier to enter new markets, attract diverse audiences, and transform your content library into a global powerhouse. In this session, we will learn how AI-driven dubbing tools can scale your content for international audiences by providing high-quality dubbing in multiple languages via the seamless integration of automatic transcription, translation, and voice generation. To guide us through this journey with some real-world examples is Sagi Reuven, VP GTM for Deepdub. We encourage you to drop your questions in the Q&A bin throughout the presentation, and Sagi will be happy to answer. Sagi, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really looking forward to this session. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Jose. Pleasure being here. Hi, everyone. Yeah, feel free to drop questions at any point of time. I'll go ahead and share my screen. And okay, thank you for joining today. I guess some of you have different levels of acquaintance with AI dubbing by now. Probably all have heard of it in many different ways, whether it's fully automated, whether it's a human interacted and so on. So I will try and do my best to better explain the various possibilities out there. And most important, why with the AI dubbing as a business enabler, as a revenue generator, rather than just a process that has to be done to bring your content to broadcast. Just a little bit about myself. Today, I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at Deepdub. I've been working with AI since 2014 on medical-related applications, fintech, cybersecurity. So this is like really exciting. This is the first time that I'm working on something that is fun, enjoying, and way more appealing than catching someone that is laundering money when transferring money abroad. So it's a pleasure to be here. Just a quick overview of the agenda. I will tell you a little bit about Deepdub and what we do, but the rest will try to be more on the educational side and talk to you about, okay, first let's discuss if dubbing is still required, right? The world has evolved and people are getting more and more used to watch in English, right? So you would have expect dubbing to kind of disappear. But it seems like it's happening actually the other way around, especially because of technology and the new trends in content production. I'll talk a little bit about trends we see and hear from our clients about what viewers demand in 2024. Then I have two slides that are describing the revenue potential from YouTube and from having a fast channel. Then a little bit about how much money is being invested. I was blown away, to be honest, on content production. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about whether AI dubbing can help you reach your business goals and find new revenue streams, and how does it work. I'll finish with a few case studies and real examples, as Jose mentioned, from some of our clients. So a little bit about Deepdub. We've been around since 2019. And 2021, this was the first year that we released the first ever dubbed AI feature film. Very oriented for media and entertainment. We don't deal with other things and really focused on dialogue generation, emotion, scripted, unscripted, drama. This is kind of our world. Our dubs are already live on quite a few media providers, and we are the chosen partner for dubbing by Amazon AWS. So we're also available through the AWS marketplace, and we are TPN certified. So if you have any security-related aspects, and by all means, please ask. I think this is picking up really fast, and many companies in the industry are pursuing the TPN certification, which is great. So a little bit about dubbing for those of you who are still not fully convinced on that. The data shows that viewers still prefer dubbed content, meaning quite a few broadcasters and streamers, they also on YouTube, other pretty aware of the fact that when you broadcast with subtitles, you have less and less engagement. This is like a cultural thing, and there is nothing you can do about it, I think, at this point. Germany, France, Italy are kind of leading the way, not only by demanding that the dubbing will be done on almost everything or on actually everything. They also have like a very high attention to details. They see that as a very creative delivery. Sometimes there's like kind of a thing that the Germans even believe that the dubbed version is better than the original version in English. So they're really kind of even proud in that industry. Surprising, but like pretty even common to dub from English US to British and vice versa. This, for me, that I was not from the industry, was quite of a surprise. But now that I got into this more and more, I see that this has a huge impact, and maybe it's like we are just genetically engineered to better react when we hear our main language, how we grew up with, and what we are used to. So we see also that some streamers report that there is a well-measured value in engagement when they broadcast dubbed content. So I think this is not like a top secret or something that's very unique. You're all a part of this industry, and you've probably heard about like layoffs and how the financial reports might look like, and consolidation in the market and reorg and all that stuff. My perspective, again, probably many others share a similar view, is that think that we saw a huge, like the streaming wars. If you go back to presentations and investor relation presentations from 5 years ago, you would have imagined that by now all the streaming platforms will be super rich, just like a money-making machine printing money, and this is not the case. Actually, it seems like it's the other way around. And we now have to deal with content vacuum from the strike, like 10 months of not producing any new content that led to a domino effect on the dubbing industry. And this whole scene is like going through probably churn impact and drop in views. So now there is like a race to bring new content. But the question is now how, because producing content takes a long time. It's a huge investment, and you're expected to cut costs and make more money. So this leads me to how we balance this triangle, and we change the balance and take it to more of a business orientation rather than being only quality oriented. Suleiman, to your question. So question number one, will we get the presentation? I think that Jose is going to send a recorded version. Jose, you can maybe confirm it in the chat. How would AI dubbing conflict with the union and regulatory issues, especially in the EU? Is it likely that EU will ban restrict AI dubbed content? I'm going to talk about it in depth, especially because we invested a lot in the legal framework and everything, how we built our models to exactly to comply. So I'll elaborate about that later when I'll talk about the methods that we use in AI dubbing. Thank you for the question. Great question, which is like super important, and I'll talk about it later. This is by like a presentation. I participated in a session by Air Media and some information from Statista about the most recent YouTube audience size. This based on like users that are repeating users. You can see countries are growing and growing, and probably if you look at also guest joining the YouTube platform and watching, probably the user base is much larger. And this is an income on content creators that are running their ads on the Google ad platform and not selling the ads on their own. There is another program within YouTube that you can also sell your own ads, and then the sky's the limit. Kind of like it's up to you on how much you sell your ads. And we also have some other clients that don't even go to YouTube. They go to Facebook, Instagram. I know that some are already starting to work on TikTok and like doing short episodes of 10 minutes of drama, 12 minutes of drama. So kind of like disrupting the delivery part of like how you reach the audience in that sense. And then again, can sell and monetize on different advertisement from different platforms exactly with the same content. Okay, so it goes together. Another analysis, because this is probably a hot topic and very difficult to conclude because there's so many variations and you can sell your own ads. But I did like this exercise and try to combine information from Omdia and Statista, and I try to match the ad revenue and the number of viewers and a couple of other parameters to estimate the average ad revenue per 1 million viewers. Much more than YouTube, but again, it has its own complications because you would need to work with a fast platform and probably spend more money on licensing and everything around that, and bring that to the viewers. Unlike YouTube, when you have more access to the market, you need to take a different approach if you're going into fast. But again, this area is really picking up. And from a recent report that Zumo released, it seems like there is like really high level of engagement from viewers across the globe that are really supporting this model of fast. So it seems like the viewers really accept and appreciate that. Now to the most important topic that I think is relevant to the entire industry. So just to give you a bit of sense of how much money is invested in a content production. Again, I'm sure you're all aware of that, but this is only like 1 year. Okay, imagine how much money is spent over a couple of years. And from what we hear over and over again, from content owners, from distributors, and even sometimes from broadcasters, when they have a multilingual community that they broadcast to, is that there is a huge amount of content that is simply locked behind a dubbing wall because it will not be accepted with subs and requires that level of engagement. And you can bring a lot of content that you already know that was really successful over years in one market, and in relatively low investment, bring that to another market and start working on getting more juice, let's say squeezing more juice from your archive and not invest a huge amount of money in new content production. The way to do that, and this is what we're advocating for, is to stop thinking about how we change the present, but think about how we set the future. Right now, we are still very much oriented by trying to get to the highest quality in traditional dubbing. That's great. There are a certain level of titles and this high tier of content that will never be done in AI. It will always be done by talented voice actors and dubbing directors and sound engineers that bring the creativity to the max possible, right? But the challenge is that many of the titles are not in that tier, and they are not what some clients might call dubbing worthy. So there's a whole lot of titles, sometimes thousands of titles, that no one is considering to dub in traditional dubbing. It's going to take forever, and it's going to cost a lot of money, and we have no way to understand if we are going to see a return on investment, and it can be a massive investment. Okay, next one. One last thing about this one. So basically what we're saying is just balance a little bit between what you get in quality, and for a little bit of give on quality, you will get a lot of value in scale and business results. So how does AI dubbing works? And this is the point, Suleiman, that I'm going to talk a little bit more about your question that is related to the AI Act and the union and all that stuff. So first of all, we are still doing quite a lot of hybrid dubbing, meaning we are taking traditional dubbing, but boosting it with AI. We are still using human voices. We are still recording voice actors in the studio with all the commercial rights, with all the legal process that is required as a part of that. And simply what AI technology does is to convert voices from one voice to another. And the performance is not changed when you convert that voice. That simply allows us to optimize the traditional dubbing process and make it more accessible, especially on cost. Also with scale, especially when you have a full cast and you need to bring a lot of characters, and it becomes way more complicated and time consuming to dub. And the other side is related to the generative AI approach. So the way we built our system, we are not breaching anything. We are not training our models on any content of the client, on any something that is owned by a voice actor without his permission or what so. We are not doing that. This is completely like out of the question. And what we built in Deepdub, we just developed our own emotive text-to-speech engine. And in addition to that, to avoid any complication around legal rights, we built a huge voice bank in which we have paid all the royalties and all the buyouts, and we did everything to comply with the commercial rights as required in the industry. So we would not be in any situation that we need to use or ask for permission or whatever, or force the original content owner to do something that he does not agree to. So it gives you the same capability or same approach as you have as a dubbing studio, that you don't need to rely on the original dialogue. Okay, so Suleiman, does that answer your question? Yes, I hope so. Just say, mark me in the chat. So to your point, yeah, also like the GDPR compliance, and you're correct that this is very, it's a very sensitive matter. Maybe one more thing to your question about the union. So it is also important to say that there are a lot of people that are involved in that process. Some people tend to think that because of what they see in the news and some of the marketing videos that are out there is that you click on a red button and that's it, and it's all dubbed. There are some solutions that are going in that direction, but we are not there. We are really focused on balancing the human creativity with AI dubbing, and we do that in a way like we have dubbing adapters that they operate the system, sound engineers, and an entire team of linguists and dubbing experts, because while you are generating the voices from human voices with AI, it doesn't mean that you don't have to uh, um, involve some creative process, like adapting the language or giving dubbing directions or mixing it to different levels of required quality. So this is just an example from one of our clients that was agreed to share. This was done with a process that is completely done with AI, and this was done from French to German, and he's doing this promoting this content on all social media.
J'aimerais porter un toast à votre venue, Madame Van Lift. Nous sommes très heureux de vous avoir dans notre maison.
Ah non, la maison de Paul.
Also, das habe ich überhaupt nicht erwartet. Bei allem Respekt, es könnte etwas verfrüht sein zu heiraten, oder?
Ganz und gar nicht. Es ist Liebe auf den ersten Blick. Ist doch so? Das kann man nicht erklären.
Nun, das müssen wir feiern.
Yeah, it was one example. They have their own format. They do drama series, 12 minutes episode, and they, for a relatively low budget, did that in 6 different languages. Probably reach a pretty large audience compared to what we would have done only with French. That's another example, this time for animation. We've done this one for Cartoon Studios. They have a fast channel going live in 3 countries.
Tudo bem, Fluffy, é só você tentar. Fluff! 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 Viu? Eu te ensinei um truque novo. É tão maravilhoso, Ana.
Eu não sabia que o Fluffy podia fazer bolhas de arco-íris.
E nem ele. Eu acho que ele só precisava de alguém para acreditar nele.
A última a pegar uma bolha é um ovo de libélula podre.
Again, another way of like promoting content globally with fast, children, pretty successful category. So in general, this may be relevant for also other AI dubbing companies, not just for Deepdub, for the sake of being transparent with everyone. But you can get really fast. You can work in parallel. The dubs are already live on quite a few platforms. The cost reduction in some countries can even be at around 90%. Okay, now again, going back to what I said earlier, is this the same as traditional dubbing? No, but no one is intending to do that. Just a reminder, we are trying to find a way to make dubbing from a cost center into something that would generate revenues. And this is like the right transformation that we believe would make that change. I have 2 last case studies. This one is a project we've done for FilmRise. This is the most successful category. Crime is really a successful category. I can refer you to the Zoomer report. It's like the dominant category on fast channels, probably because it's less of a concern if you're not watching it in the same order of the episodes. This was done relatively fast, so we can probably do a whole channel in like 1 month. The reduced cost here was tremendous, and the channel is available through Pluto in Italy. There's another sample. This time was done in a hybrid. We did this one for MHZ, but what they do, MHZ, we dubbed it from French. They buy the content from Europe, and we did the dubbing in English US. And not only did they broadcast it on their SVOD platform and other smart TV platforms, they also sell the content on Amazon Prime. So you can go and buy that series on Amazon Prime, which could be also like another channel for to monetize on your content. So this was like kind of like not fast, not SVOD, but kind of like something in the middle of selling the dubbed content directly to the viewers. This is it from my end. I'll be happy to answer any questions. You might have them.
Hey, Sagi, thank you so much. That was a very, very interesting conversation. Actually, I have a couple questions myself here. I noticed in the beginning of the presentation, you were talking about how viewers, the preference for dub content over subtitle content has continued to rise. I'm assuming that's kind of it coincides with the capabilities of AI dubbing improving over time, right? Like there was a time where it probably wasn't as highly rated.
Yes.
And do
Absolutely.
you,
Becoming easier to do that, and more companies are leveraging that capability. Sometimes people would even a webinar, it would dub it to a few different languages, which is something that no one considered to do before.
oh wow, maybe that's something we should try out.
Yeah, we should.
And it looks like there's a question in here. How many
Right.
languages do you currently offer? Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great question. Also, I will write to that. There are a couple of levels in what when you say support. So there are a couple of levels in the sense of is the voice bank that you need to have and how rich it is and how many voices and emotions we have in that specific voice bank that you can use. And what is the level of support in that language? So if I really want to talk about the high-end stuff, we do English US, French, German, Spanish, both, Arabic, Turkish, Japanese, Czech, Romanian, Russian, Hebrew, UK. You can also change a little bit the accents, like you can play with the accent control. I think I covered everything. Or Italian. Yeah.
No, I have
This
one
is
more
like
question
take
for
the
you as
level of
well, actually.
yeah. Mhm.
So how do you account for localization issues in all the various countries? Is that something that's input into the AI itself, or do you guys do that kind of manually?
So there is a huge impact on learning over time if you have that ability to learn from the client. However, because of the strict again, if I go back to the TPN certification and what you have to go through, it is very strict on this, especially this industry, about using content from the client. Okay, so this is something that we avoid no matter what. Like, unless clients really, yeah, I mean, we, we, we wouldn't do that. So, unfortunately, over time, you need to start this process from scratch. You cannot learn on data that is owned by the customers. And so
Exactly. That
still
makes
it's
a lot of sense.
human knowledge still, for to go back to this, like people are kind of scared about having AI and AI is taking their job. But I also want to say at the same time that we have quite a few dubbing adapters, and this job did not exist a year ago. So as a company, we feel kind of it's a bit unfair because we also created a lot of new jobs for many people in the industry, in this dubbing industry. So, you know, this reaction of, oh, you're just taking jobs and stuff, I think it's related to the maybe not understanding how much of a creative process it still is. Okay, like a graphic designer that uses the AI in Photoshop, is he still a graphic he's still a graphic designer? He's still a creative person. You still need to work with that capability, and it's just a superpower. It's not. It's not a replacement. Okay, so like people need to start thinking about what else can we do and not how to replace.
Absolutely. It becomes a tool for your benefit and provides a whole plethora of different opportunities. We have so much content here at OTTX, but it's all in English. Imagine how many different audiences we could be reaching just with some dubbing.
Yeah. And some people take that even to like even go one step further, you know, like they say, wait, I have a few, like, what if I need to edit some videos, right? And I want to dub it quickly, just so the video editors, they would know how to, you know, how to edit the footage. If you take before AI, there is no chance. Like there is no chance to take hours of footage and quickly dub it for no cost for the video editors to be able to edit the content, right? But now, and like this is a completely new world.
Exactly. That's great stuff. We're really looking forward to see where Deepdub goes from here. It's really exciting, and I'm excited to learn more. Sagi, thank you so much. As
Thank you,
always,
everyone.
this session has been recorded and will be available for viewing on demand in the coming days on the OTTX website, alongside a plethora of other streaming and OTT related content. If you would like to connect with Sagi for follow-up, please feel free to reach out to the OTTX team, and we'd be happy to make the introduction. On the horizon for OTTX is our next bus session taking place July 10th and featuring executives from Media Play News, Whirl, KDMG, Flex, Arise Communications, and Castify AI. OTTX bus sessions bring together panelists to use their expertise to take on the latest news, findings, and updates buzzing in the business of streaming and OTT. You can learn more about our buzz sessions at OTTX.org/buzz. Also, a friendly reminder that registration for our annual OTTX Summit will be opening shortly. The summit will return on September 25th and 26th, and activities will include 2 days of conference programming and workshops, breakouts featuring presentations, panels, research insights, exhibitor booths, tabletops, pre-scheduled business meetings, and plenty of networking functions. More info is coming shortly, so stay tuned. With that, the OTTX would like to thank you one more time for joining us today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Sagi, thank you so much.
See you all in Denver next week.
Have a good one.
Bye. Bye.